the county line, with my cashers in the backseat and a cooler full of shine. Mountains in the distance, feel the freedom in the air. We're going to Giga Stock, there's magic everywhere. Banjo picking softly as the morning sun goes high. Golden ammo cans and rivers under wide West Virginia sky. Rusty Chevys chugging with the windows open wide. Laughter in the wind, got my trackables by my side. We're singing to the hills where the echoes never die. Dancing in the moonlight beneath the country sky. Strumming songs of cashing and tales of long ago. Woodstock in West Virginia, we're letting all our troubles go. Campfires burning bright and stories being told. The cashers we've never met but feel like they're old. Fiddles and guitars playing, setting spirits free. Geo Woodstock is the place where we all come to be. Geocaching brightly, lighting up the silent night. Fireflies and laughter, everything feels right. Holding close the moments in a place we love so dear. West Virginia calling, it's the time of the year. We're singing to the hills where the echoes never die. Dancing in the moonlight beneath the country sky. Strumming songs of cashing, tales of long ago. West Virginia, we're letting all our troubles go.
Geo Woodstock in West Virginia, but now it's Gigastock. So welcome tonight, Geocache Talk, and we've got special notes, special guests. And before we get started, let's bring in the crew and our special guest tonight. And there they are. There's our co-hosts and Mark with us tonight. Mark, thank you so much for being with us.
Yeah, thanks for letting me hop on.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a long time coming.
And like you said, you can now say the word.
Yes, it's official. Wild and Wonderful Geo Woodstock 21 is officially America's second Giga event.
Yeah, man, that is awesome. That is awesome.
Yes. And of course, I think I coined the term, but I'm not gonna need credit for that. That's okay. But we talked about it being Gigastock back in the day. Which Jesse will tell you was fake news, but
it's another fake news show tonight. I see how it is.
Another fake news.
Are we rolling the fake news hatter yet? Or
that's right. Yeah.
Right.
If I didn't see it, it didn't happen. So
fake news. But no, we're really excited for y'all and for us to be able to come to Morgantown, West Virginia. Really excited. We've got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna turn over to you and kind of give people updates on where we at on the Gigastock front.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's important to note that, like I said, this is going to be America's second Giga event. The first Giga event ever was in Ohio in 2018. So we're 7 years. It's been 7 years since people within the states have had the opportunity to get this unique icon. So our team is extremely proud and thrilled to give the community this opportunity once again. And, being from West Virginia, bringing people to my hometown and seeing everything that I think makes this place so great. Like, this is, I promise once, you all come and you explore West Virginia, you'll see why we call it almost heaven. You'll see why we sing Country Roads Take Me Home, because this place really is home. And our team is creating a really, really special event that we can't wait to showcase to you all. So it's, very appropriate. We feel like that this event gets this special designation because we promise it's going to be a very special event. This is going to be the third Giga event ever within North America, and then the 13th Giga event, period. So there's only ever been 13 of these, large 5,000
Yeah.
gatherings of geocaches. So, definitely making history. Definitely an
Mhm.
important milestone in the game and for all the cachers here in the States. So it's crazy that 2025 is the year that's happening with all the other fun things that we have going on. There's several megas that are popping up on the map, tons of block parties, the location list, community celebrations. There's so many different opportunities and things for cachers to travel to and to spend their money on. But we're really, really proud and thankful that so many people have chosen to come to West Virginia to help celebrate with us. So from everyone on our team, from all the ambassadors, from everyone that's helped put this together, we just want to extend a massive thank you to everyone in the community for believing in us and helping us reach this goal. And we promise you won't be disappointed whenever May rolls around and you're in West Virginia.
So,
That's
Mark, why
awesome,
do you
yeah.
think you mentioned a little bit 25 years, right? And obviously, you did good marketing. I mean, you came on this show, so that's what did it for you. But it's the 25th year. There's a lot of marketing. But why do you think this is? Because this is a historic thing. Why do you think this one went giga? What do you think made this one different than the last 7 years?
Absolutely. There's a lot of different factors. I'm not going to bore you within the whole marketing, the whole strategy behind it. But the main reason is probably going to be geographic region based. So West Virginia is within a day's drive of, I think it's like 75% of the US population. So geographically speaking, it's very easy for people to commute to West Virginia. It's kind of the crossroads of the East Coast. We're the most northern of the southern states, the most southern of the northern states. So we're pulling all the people from New England, all the people from down south, and then it's really not that hard for people on the West Coast to join us as well. West Virginia has only ever had 2 other mega events. Those were both in the southern half of the state with the Hatfield-McCoy trails. And really, other than that, we haven't had a ton of big caching opportunities, especially in north central West Virginia, where Geo Woodstock 21 is going to be. You look at previous Geo Woodstocks, and you have Cincinnati, Ohio, Warren, PA, Boonesboro, Maryland. In 2 in North Carolina, 2 in Tennessee, Kentucky. So there's a lot of different, pretty much every state around West Virginia has had a Geo Woodstock. So it's about time that West Virginia, puts our name in the running. And I saw the comment pop up. West Virginia Tim has done a ton of great work for the state, promoting the caching opportunities and making this a destination. And we just have so many awesome tourism opportunities. We have so many great partners, not only like locally but regionally. So like Berkeley County, who is where West Virginia Tim has all of his great caches. They're going to be coming to Geo Woodstock. West Virginia Tim is going to set up a table. He's having a presentation. So just a lot of unique opportunities. One thing that we've heard a lot in this process is that, I've never cached in West Virginia. I've always wanted to cache in West Virginia. Or people have just explored the panhandles, like West Virginia Tim over in Martinsburg, or maybe passing through like Wheeling as you like come and go from Pittsburgh to Columbus. And those, like, you pass through those areas. That's not West Virginia. You haven't experienced everything that makes this state great. So this is really a great opportunity for people to come and West Virginia not be a pass through, but let it be their destination. And that's what we're really, really trying to push. Come spend the week, because there's so much to do here that one weekend won't be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Mark, congratulations again to your team on this one. Because I just have to say, every event I went to, if it was a Coin Fest, anything else, people have just been incredible with promoting like Geo Woodstock this year. And I think really it takes like a community to make a mega. It takes a community to make so many things happen in geocaching. And everybody on your team absolutely killed it. So, hats off to them on that side, because I know just talking to everybody, it's like that excitement and enthusiasm has just like built up through the year,
One thing I want to mention real quick, on top of that, and Mark, definitely fill in the blanks if as I missed stuff, but we're going to put the link in here for the shop. But a couple of things. One is, of course, the registration we talked about, and we advertised and got it out in the news, has come and gone, but there's still products available. So as I go down through these, Mark, kind of if you want to kind of explain to folks what's still available now, what is available, because there's a coin that's also available now, right?
Yes, so registration has officially closed as of January 31st. So you're not going to be able to get your packages like bundled all together, but there's still a ton of great opportunities to buy things. We have meal tickets, which is going to be available at Milan Park during the main event from 11 to 2. We're serving West Virginia hot dogs and pepperoni rolls. So if you want to come and spend the whole day at Milan Park, that's going to be a great opportunity. We have shirts, which I just met with our shirt manufacturer the other day.
Cool.
They're locally sourced here in Davis, West Virginia. And I promise they're some of the softest fabric, the nicest shirts you'll ever wear. So very excited to, everyone get those and start wearing those. If you want to scroll down a little bit.
Yep.
We have the main event coin, which is that one on the left. It features signal on a zip line. It actually moves back and forth, which is very exciting.
Very cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And then we have our 8-set path tag set. And it features the main event tag and then a path tag for each of the side events. So the path tag set will come in the set of 8 with all 8 tags. So you don't need to trade with other people to try to complete your set. It's just a quick, easy, fun thing to celebrate all the cool side events that we have going on throughout the weekend.
Cool. And then there's this coin that y'all made.
Absolutely. So our newest coin that's not featured in any of the registration packages. So if you've already registered, but you want this coin, be sure to go back onto the store and buy this coin separately. So to celebrate the second Giga event in America, we've made a coin that has all the different icons that you're going to have the opportunity to get here in West Virginia. So with the Giga coin being the main feature, but we have all the traditional, the multi, the mystery. We have the community celebration events, the GPS adventure maze. So all of those icons, and it's actually a 2-layer coin where the state outline with the Giga logo is on the front, and then that back with the train actually spins around so you can see all the different icons.
Love it. The train rotates,
So an important thing about this coin is that we aren't minting anything specifically for the GPS adventure maze. So this is going to be the only coin or the only swag item in general that has anything with the GPS adventure maze or the Giga icon. So that's why we're only doing a very limited run of these. And they're going to be very special and probably resell after the event. So if you haven't picked up one already, go to the store right now and add one to your cart. And then once you come to Morgantown, it'll be included in your previous registration. So if you've bought something back in October, you can add this coin to your cart now. You can check out, and it'll be included with all your other stuff. So you don't need to wait in any additional lines. You don't need to do anything else to pick it up.
Are quantities limited, Mark? How many many coins people can get of that Giga Geo coin?
Yeah, so we're only minting a couple hundred of them, and we've had a lot sell already. So I don't have the specific number off the top of my head, but once they're gone type of thing. So if you're interested, and that's what we're encouraging people, pick up 2 or 3, because in a year, in 2 years, this is going to be one of the only Geo coins out there that has that Giga icon, because you're not allowed to mint coins with the Giga icon unless you reach the status. So
that's right. That's awesome. Anything else from the store? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's one other thing. The Friends of Geo Woodstock. This is a donation package to the event. It comes with a special gold-plated coin. It's very, very cool, very pretty. We haven't released any pictures of it yet, but I promise you won't be disappointed.
Gotcha.
And then another cool thing about Friends of Geo Woodstock is that they get the same perks as VIPs as well. So if you've missed out on VIP parking and you missed out on like early access into Geo Woodstock and the shorter lines and all of those things, you can still get your hands on all those fun perks if you become a friend of Geo Woodstock. And I do know we only have, I think it's 30 of those left. So if you missed out on the registration boat, but you still want to take advantage of, parking close to the venue, having express lines, getting early access to the venue, all of those great advantages, definitely take advantage of Friends of Geo Woodstock package.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And I appreciate the fact that you're going to go the time and effort to make sure and link these purchases back to the previous purchases, because that means a lot to do the one-stop shop. When you get your package, get it all. Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's important to note too, now that the event has reached a Giga status, we are expecting a lot more international audience. We're expecting a lot more crowds. So expect lines, expect heavy parking. Those are just some things that we can't avoid. But our team is working as hard as we can to make this as seamless as an experience as possible. So that includes pre-packaging everything. So all you have to do is give us your name, and we'll hand you your bag of stuff.
Okay.
So Mark, people with their hotels, they should get those reservations in. Really,
absolutely. If you haven't booked your hotel yet, definitely do that. You can head over to our website. We have a travel section that lists all the hotel partners. I think we're up to something like 20 different hotels that are offering discounts, and some of those are starting to book up. So if you want to stay close to the event venue, definitely get on that as soon as you can.
The other thing that people forget is that's great that you bought your package, you've done everything, you're coming to the main event, but if you're going to the side events, put your will attend on those as well, because you'll have 5,000 people signed up for the main event and 200, which we know is a lie, showing up. They have to prepare for you guys. They're trying to make the best thing they can do. Make sure you sign up for those side events. If you think you're going to be there at all, sign up for the side events. It doesn't affect anything. They're not going mega or giga, so they're fine. You're not going to hurt anything. You're just going to let them know how many people to prepare for at whatever location it is. And that makes things go so much smoother for big events like this.
Absolutely. We had one question come in, Mark, for you. Is the mystery coin in the VIP package the Giga coin?
It's not. So the Giga coin with the train is the only coin that features anything with the Giga icon. And it's completely separate from every other package. So the mystery coin in the VIP package is still a secret. It does spin, but it's not that new coin that we just put on the website.
That's a whole other coin. Nice.
Yeah, we're minting 11 different coins for this event.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah.
that's
I think we have a GIF of how it spins. Let me see.
Yeah, there it goes.
That is so cool.
Featured in our opening song.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. I like the opening song. Okay, maybe I'm the only one. Never mind.
We know you do, Gary. We know.
All right.
You know, Gary, I don't know. Is there a competition for the theme song for this year's Gigastock? Is that currently in the works, Mark, or is that something that's not in the works?
Yeah, absolutely. You can put bids in on our community.
That's right. That's right.
It was fun. AI struggles with Gigastock and geocaching, so y'all need to appreciate the fact that I had to teach AI how to say words. Okay, so another question for you, Mark. If registers VIP, is anything mailed so we can get the VIP parking before we pick up our registration?
Right. So nothing is going to be mailed. None of the packages or the swag is going to be mailed at any point. But if you registered as a VIP or a Friends of Geo Woodstock, we will email you special instructions of what you need to do to take advantage of some of the VIP perks before you pick up your lanyard and some of those things that grant you access to all these areas.
Nice. Perfect. That's perfect. Good question by David and good answer. And then Butterfly Girl mentions, what's the earliest we can pick up our packages?
So packages will all be available for pickup at Milan Park on Friday the 23rd or Saturday the 24th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. On Friday, VIPs and Friends of Woodstocks can pick up their packages early during the sneak peek hour from 8 to 10. General admission starts at 10 a.m. on Friday. If you're in the area early for the Country Roads Challenge kickoff on Thursday, then passports will be available at that event, so you can get a jump start on the Country Roads Challenge. If you don't have the opportunity to attend this Thursday morning event, your passport will be included in your registration packet when you pick it up on Friday. You can download it online, or you can stop by the CVB table at Milan Park to grab one.
Perfect. Well, my friend, this was awesome.
Hold on, we can't let him go yet.
Oh,
So
we got
Mark
something
is
else.
the current reigning expert on gigas in North America, right? So
That's true.
The obvious question is, when will there be another giga, and will they only be Woodstock? Have we proved something in North America yet? And don't worry, we're recording and it's watching live, so we won't ever remember. So don't worry about it. But we need your prediction on that.
So one of the interesting things, I just finished my master's in marketing, and I did my thesis paper on this event. So partly why some of the marketing is so good, but we compared the numbers of every other will attend and tracked them throughout the year of all these other events and watching them as they move and different things like that. And Geo Woodstock is really the event that, stands out among all the other events. Like, there's so many great mega events within our community. So like Midwest Geobash is another staple. Going Caching, which had its wrap up in October, is another big event. But the thing that all of these big events have in common is that they're in the East Coast, or kind of in this geographic region. So Geo Woodstock is a bid process, so anyone can host Geo Woodstock. All you have to do is head to geowoodstock.org and submit your proposal. So who knows where it's going to be next year? We try to move it around. So like last year was on the West Coast in Flagstaff, Arizona. So we're bringing it back to the East Coast. So it could be back out in the West Coast or in Central U.S., or it could be on the East Coast again. But it's really no telling how like this event is going to compound, or if we can carry this momentum into 2026. So like I said, it's been 7 years since the last, Giga Woodstock. So
yeah.
Well,
That's
and I just want to say,
sense, but I didn't hear your prediction yet.
yeah,
it really depends on who hosts it and where they're at next.
Just be brave. Be brave.
I'm going to say probably at least like 2028 to 2029 before.
That's fair. That's fair. That's sooner than our last one.
True.
Yep.
It's a smaller gap. Maybe it'll go down and then it'll be a yearly thing after that. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, I just want to say Geocache Talk called this as a giga early on.
We did.
Even though people were saying to us at that time, they're like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, this is going giga from an early stage. And I mean, not to put pressure on you guys, Mark, but we just had a feeling on this one. We just had confidence in you guys.
I'm extremely fortunate to have such a talented team of everyone helping put this together. So everything from all of our graphics, all of our web design, all of our social media marketing, like all of these skills and assets are across our entire team, and everyone's just working very, very hard. We have a huge team of ambassadors that every event you go to, it doesn't matter where you're at, you're running into someone helping spread the word. So
no, it's great. Yeah. It was fun being at the first one. And hanging out with, I actually hung out with young Mark back then. Mark's grown. It's been many years ago, but I knew that one day Mark would be in charge of another giga, or not actually be in charge of one versus just going to one. So again, thank you so much. It was great. One last question, and then we're going to let you go. But somebody was asking about a Mountaineer package. Do they get all the path tags? Do you remember off the top of your head if that's?
Yes. The Mountaineer package has the full set of 8 path tags already included in it. So you're good to go there.
Okay, cool. Yep. Well, thank you, sir, so much. We're so looking forward to it, and keep in touch, and we'll do this again before May. So this will be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Take care.
Thanks. Take care, buddy. There goes Mark.
Oh man, I'm just
awesome.
so excited.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. I mean, it's not, I mean, obviously it's huge, but it's a giga, but it's big to have it back in get proven that America can have a Giga again, right? Like a one-off thing, you can just say that was a fluke. But it's twice, and we just assume all Gigas are going to happen over in Europe, and we're never going to get really, but once, twice. I think it'll start, like he said. I think it'll start being more frequent once people see that it can happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, and hats off to them, because I mean, it's not like this turned Giga like close to the wire on this one. I mean, this turned
they
Giga
got it clear, clean.
Yeah, way early.
Well, and what's interesting too is he's doing a paper in college on this now. That brings more information and more, that it again puts geocaching in more arenas, and there's actually some research, and I would almost call it cheating, because he's majored in marketing, so he should do awesome. So that's exactly what you'd expect.
But for him, if others can learn from how this was done,
absolutely,
know some other cool events. How cool is that, man?
No, absolutely.
Anything that continues to to spread the sport more and everything else, and that's a whole different conversation of, do we want gigas all the time? Is that too big? Or is 1 gig enough every few years? That's a whole different conversation, right? That we don't know yet, but we'll find out. We know this one's going to run smooth. So they've got this one planned out so well. I'm of course very jealous. Patron.
I know. Well, sorry. We'll do. There's going to be a patron party. I don't know about the pizza part, but
hey, Gary, I love this idea. Just saying, love it, man.
Really, I'm
sure
shocked
pizza will be involved at some point.
I'm shocked that you would be excited about the possibility of a patron pizza party. So,
yeah, and welcome to Pizza Odyssey.
No. We've got a show to do.
Gary, come
a regular
on.
show.
Okay, we'll save the Pizza Odyssey show for a future show. You're right. There's so much to cover on that one.
Pizza talk. I can't believe that people want a pizza talk show.
I keep on hearing it all the time from folks. They're like, "Yeah, welcome to Pizza Talk from the Geocache Talk Network, our show about pizza and caching on this
and everything going." Yeah, so we feel bad. I've had multiple people like, "Oh, is Jesse going to go to Giga now? Is he going to go to the Giga store? What's Jesse going to do?" It's like, he's not available.
I can't go. It's not had nothing to do with it being a Giga or not being a Giga. I can't go because of a family obligation at the exact same time. It's an event for my daughter, and it can't be rescheduled. So if it was anything else, if it was just work or anything else, I'd probably find a way to get out of it. But
I've been defending you
first. We all know that.
Yeah, I've been defending you many times this week.
Hey, it's not from a lack of wanting to go. I want to go big time. This is the second time. That's an icon I don't have. And it's the second time. That's just, I don't have that icon at all. So
I'll tell you, Jesse, we're going to miss you there, man. We're going to miss you.
I know. Y'all are going to have a lot of fun, but it sounds like an awesome one too. I mean, I would go even if it was just a mega.
I knew we knew you would.
But
family first. Family first.
Of course,
100%.
So a couple quick things, and we gotta get on to the rest of our show. Sorry, pardon me for that, but let's do really short this. This information is in the show notes. The show notes are updated every Sunday night on the geocachetalk.com website. So you can always go there, grab our links, and check out all of the notes that we might not mention on the show, but they're in the notes. So there you go. Big thing in there about the Giga update. I do want to mention a couple things on it that's related to Geocache Talk. We have 2 hours, not 2 separate hours. We have a challenge talk hour. We're gonna have at Gigastock, and we're gonna have another one which is Cache Odyssey. So if you've ever wondered how is Cache Odyssey set up, I want to do something similar. What do I need to do? If you have any questions about how you want to do it, we want you to we would love people to copy what
Mhm.
we've done
Mhm.
for Cache Odyssey. We want you to create, wheelchair accessible terrain 1 type caches. If you want to ask us questions, a lot of the Cache Odyssey hiders will be at the event. So come see us at 4 p.m. 3 p.m. is the challenge talk uh, hour, and 4 p.m. Will be Cache Odyssey. You might want to be there because we're going to do Mardi Gras style. We're going to chunk stuff into the crowd. So you need to bring your shields and eye covering so that you don't get hit by flying path tags, but you get the idea.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. It'll
Yeah,
be fun, and it'll be
we're gonna
good
have
to
a good
get Cache Odyssey in front of an international audience, right? So spread the word
Yes.
outside the U.S. So that'll be good.
Oh yeah, we'd love to see it repeated somewhere else in the world.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of international listeners from all over the globe. So
Mhm.
yeah, we'd love to see it. Quick note on Kentucky: the Kentucky Cache Odyssey Kentucky is on. Well, it's going to be on. It is on. It's not published yet, but it's on government property. So as you can imagine, it takes a little bit of extra paperwork to get it done. The Cache Odyssey hider for that is law enforcement. Jesse remembers those days. And he was very busy with a bank robbery, is what he told me.
Oh,
So we
That
would
takes up some
prefer
time,
him. We would prefer to him to catch perpetrators, and then
yeah.
the Cache
No doubt.
Odyssey will be will be done soon.
Hey, it'll be here in no time.
It'll be here in
Yeah.
no time. So there you go. People are asking, and there's your quick update on Geocache Kentucky. Cache Odyssey Alaska is disabled as well. It's for mechanical fixing. He's working on it. Scott's gonna get that working. Um, Lock repaired. He's working on that, so that'll be out soon.
That's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, he will be in time.
well, just every cache has to have maintenance done.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
not unique to a Geo Tour.
Mm-mm.
And a big welcome to all of our fans and listeners and audience that are in Yuma. The Yuma Mega
Oh, yeah.
was this weekend, and yeah, congrats to everybody who got to go to the Yuma Mega. And sounds like it was a good time had by all.
I've always
So
heard that's an awesome mega. Everybody that
Yeah.
I've heard that's ever been there
I'd love
has
to
always
go
said
one
it's
of these
great.
days.
yeah, railroads there. He says watching from Yuma. I think I saw Judy was also Yuma. A lot of Yuma folks are listening in tonight. So, all right. Well, let's get into the show. What do you say? Well, we're into the show. Let's get into the next part. Let's get into the next section of the show. Is that what he put it?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, binging. So, quickly, for time's sake, I'm just going to mention we're all going to mention something that we binge.
Okay.
I could do hours because I binge a lot of stuff. Just
When you're
the way
talking
I
about
am.
outside of geocaching, right?
Outside of geocaching, I binge a lot of stuff. So I've got a couple. Well, one's not really weird. One's very weird, but I thought I'd point out because it's kind of weird.
Easy. This is a family show now. Remember that.
It is. No, this is
Okay.
it's not
Okay. I
that
got
kinda
the
weird.
button in case we need to remove Gary.
Yeah, in
Okay.
case we got to kick him
It's
out,
not-
let me know.
Okay.
It's not that kind of weird. It's a different kind of weird.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I watch a gentleman, and he has an apprentice, so it's kind of interesting the two of them interacting sometimes. But this guy does fine art restoration. I'm putting in the show notes, called Baumgartner. Julian Baumgartner, fine art restoration, is in Chicago, and whenever he posts a video, I am on it. And
Is that a
it's
YouTube thing or what is it?
yeah, it's YouTube. It's a YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and he has so cutting to the chase on this one. Basically, he has people bring in paintings that have been damaged, some of them really badly, but a lot of them that have been they've been placed in very poor locations, so they've got grime, and they're just in really, really bad shape. And he goes through the process of taking them off their stretchers and fixing them, and how how do you fix these? And then he has to fix all the, because he doesn't really repaint them, but he has to fill in any kind of paint loss. And it's amazing when he's done, you can't tell at all that he's done it. They're little miracles of art, and they're fun to watch. So that's mine that I want to mention. Go watch if you want to binge something. Go watch old Julian Baumgartner fine art restoration. So, all right, over to you guys.
You want to go? First,
Yeah, I'll go. I think Jesse and I got some overlap on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I love YouTube videos, as well.
Yeah.
I know, for me, it's just like, especially 3D printing. I've been watching a ton of like YouTube videos on that one, including what is it? There's like Emily who does like 3D printing. I can't remember the name of her channel. I know I was watching it earlier where she actually like 3D printed a boat and assembled it.
Oh, cool.
And it was like, how cool is that? But
yeah.
I know for me, like binging wise, like anything education and learning wise, I'm big on,
Cool.
like people could send me almost any video and saying like, hey, you're going to learn something about this, and I'm all about that, man. I love it. I always love like educational caches too and everything about those. But I know, other than that, like one of my big binges is I love group projects and I love challenges. I'm probably one of those rare guys. So if somebody's like, hey, this sounds crazy, do you want to do it? You may hook me on that one.
Right.
I think Gary knows this, and I think he exploits it every once in a while where he's like, hey, John, this sounds hard and this sounds like a fun group project.
But
like,
I thought about you.
Yeah. And then he's like, and maybe we'll have pizza. And I'm like, damn it, Gary, you got me, man.
Dragging the pizza.
It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, Jesse, what
a lot of overlap for me.
Okay.
I'm not a big I do watch YouTube, but that's not generally the primary thing. And anybody that's ever met me knows I'm like riddled with ADHD, right? No doubt.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk really fast, I get hyped up or whatever. But one of the things of ADHD is hyperfixation. And I am terrible about that. And it's usually learning something new, but I'll get into a new topic. It can be extremely obscure. It could be anything, right? It's something I always feel like I'm learning about, but whatever it is, I mean, it could be, boat restoration or, coding or another language or whatever it is. I annoy everybody around me. And I'm like, this is all I'm focused on. A lot of times it becomes geocaching related because you can do anything with geocaching.
Sure.
I try not to put out puzzles that are related to all the stupid things I'm into, but I mean, I'll get on YouTube, I'll get on videos. I have books everywhere about every topic that I've been through. And it's just one of those, like I could go without watching TV for the next year and just read and, watch instructional videos and everything else. And it's been, I could even list all the ones it's been in the last 6 months. Right. But I'll get into it. And when you've like saturated your market, because people will be like, I don't want to hear about that again. Like, do not tell me anything new about that. Just shut up. I'm done with that. And it's, it has been geocaching before, right? It's been geocaching. Geocaching has come in and it's stayed. A lot of the other things haven't, like learning how to play guitar or learning some obscure, coding language or, anything else like that, a lot of those have come and gone. I've been interested in a while, learned what I need to learn, move on to something else. Geocache is one of the few things that's come and it's stayed obviously over the years, but
reading, you read a lot.
Oh yeah. Because you're learning something out of it. Right. And I feel reading's good for you and it's good for your brain. And I have books and I read fiction too, because I like to write. I write stories as well, write books.
Yeah.
Which I usually don't put out in the public. I'll take them and I'll learn something new and learn a new way to do it. And I'll redo the whole story again. It's just a learning process. Yeah. But you have books. You would definitely understand my brain a lot if you look through my selection of books. You would like, is this all one person's books? Or these topics are not related at all. So yeah, this is one of those for me. And it shows up in my geocaching as well, right? I'll go on huge, like we're going to talk about, huge, just get into something and then I'll come out of it and come into something else. And that'll be the only topic I'm doing. And then I'll get out and do something else. So it's just one of those things, a lot of people have it and I just try to channel it into good things, as opposed to bad things. And as long as it's something good, I figure I'm learning. And I know when it's time to like back off because my family will be like, shut up. Just shut up about that. I don't care about, I don't care about this topic anymore. That's enough. And I'll be quiet for a while, but then I'll move on to something else and do it for a while too. So
yeah, but certain things have definitely stuck with you, which are good. You're consistent, and I see it in a different realm. But your workout, your workout routine is sort of. I almost see that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see that as sort of a binging obsession where there's certain things that I do that I see as more therapeutic. I think your workouts are more therapeutic.
They are. So that's the therapeutic side of things. And I think I try to pull the good things out of anything I do binge and let go of the rest of it. But I do go overboard with any of that, right? Like just to work out for yourself, you do not need to go and do the personal training courses. You don't need to do that. That's overkill. You don't need to learn everything. There's a lot of stuff you don't need to learn. I probably could have learned a lot less for what I need to do for my topics, but I took the good parts out of it. I kept going, right? And again, as we're going to say, geocaching is just like that, right? I'll do something and I will get all in on that, whatever that part of the game is, until I just completely wear it out and have to move on to another part of the game.
So on that, Jesse, would you consider yourself a binge earth cache creator?
Yeah. So I binged those so I've binged more than one thing, but where it goes for a while, and usually it's like I saw a challenge and somebody randomly, I don't even know who it was, said, "Oh, don't even worry about where it goes. Those are too hard to mess with." Boom, I'm in it. Yeah, I'm gonna be, and Project GC fuels that. I'm like, oh, there's a stat for who's created the most earth cache or where it goes in my state. Boom, I gotta be number one. I gotta do all that. Earth cache was the same way. They were a pain in the butt. And I was like, well, I guess I'm getting books on geology and I'm going to contact the local university and I'm going to all this stupid stuff and start reading papers and junk on it, and got into that for a while and learned how. And then I wore myself out with that. And although I have gotten into a couple more of those again, I swore I was never going to do it again, but I already published one this year and submitted another one already. So
but that's part of like why I love you, man, because it's like years ago how you were so anti earth cache and you hated earth caches and you're like,
CFO really hates them.
Stupidest.
Oh yeah, she hates them.
And now you're like the guy, like if somebody's like, hey, do you know a guy who knows how to make earth caches?
Hey,
it's now where you are that guy, Jesse.
He's the expert.
Well, what's funny too is you can tell it like other topics, right? Like you start off and I had no idea what I was doing. And I just put out crap just to prove that I could do it. And then it was like, well, that's not good enough. I need to learn all about this topic. And then they start getting better and better and they're getting quality. And then I'm doing trails of them for other people and giving them away to people and stuff. And I'm like, but I'm not going to get back into that. And like, I try to stay away from certain things like bad habits, right? And in this context, it would be waymarking. Those are terrible. I hate them. I'm trying to stay away from them because they're everywhere. So it's too easy. You could get into that, and there's so many categories. Every once in a while, I find myself straying over that website. I'm like, no, don't do it. Stay away from that.
So I'm gonna go on record and saying this is what Jesse says on February 2nd, 2025. So
wait till later.
All in on waymarking. We can call back to this episode.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Owen wants to know if you can ride a wig in your sleep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I could. Absolutely.
I do, but I'm not doing it. Now every once in a while I'll help somebody do one, that really needs to do one, but I don't do them for bigger groups anymore. I got to where I was doing them for megas a while back, and that was terrible. That was that's when it kind of burned me out. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done doing those. And that was the end of the thing, right? Like I even made a t-shirt with where I go stuff on it. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. But that's just an example of how we get, but that's why geocaching is so awesome, right? Like
it is.
You can indulge those things still in the same game. So it looks like you're doing the same game for 20 years, but you're really not. You're doing whole different games like within the game. And like, then it's challenges and then it's, whatever else it is, you're like, that's my thing. It's events, it's whatever. And you can flip around all these things and still be doing geocaching.
Well, and I mean, there's so many different ways to be creative. And let's face it,
Yeah.
sometimes the older you get in life, you don't have many opportunities to be creative.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it's so cool how many different facets of geocaching there are to be creative on that, especially from the hider angle.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's
So
good for
my-
our brains too, right? Your brain needs novel stimuli to stay fresh. It needs new
Yeah,
challenges,
absolutely.
right? And if you do the same
Yep.
thing, even if you're a rocket scientist, if you're doing the same thing, you're getting less and less out of that for the health of your brain.
Yeah.
But if you're challenging yourself in new ways over time, which we all should be, I know this panel is we're all 25 and below, right? So it doesn't apply to us. But there's
Doesn't
old
apply to
people out there
us.
playing the game.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah.
and
The
you know,
really old
in
people.
that category where we have to let's keep our brain fresh. Let's try something new. And
Oh,
you know,
absolutely.
you're usually not back in school again, right? You finished school a long time ago, and you may get to go back to school every once in a while, but there's not a lot of things. Your job stays the same a lot, so there's not a lot of things to challenge yourself like that.
Not sure what that is. I don't know what jobs are, but I can think people do jobs. I'm just not familiar with doing a
Oh.
job.
Do you remember those, Gary? Like working
No.
for a living?
I know people work, and I'm glad they work. But no, so I wanted to
We
point
all work
out.
to support Gary now.
Yeah, I did want to point out because Mike basically said something. Jesse, that maybe he goes. Mike said, "My hyperfixation never goes away. They
That's
go
100%
dormant
true. He
until
is right.
someone sets
I
off.
like to think they go away, but Mike is telling the truth.
Yeah,
They
until
don't
someone
go away,
sets off.
right? They can be stripped up again, and boom, you're back in it.
Full
You're deep
force
in it.
again. That's awesome.
100%.
Yeah.
He spoke some truth there without a doubt.
Yeah, no, he's exactly right. All right, so I want to ask you guys, what is your Lay's potato chip? And if people remember, although people are young enough, they probably don't even remember this, but
This is a black and white commercial. Go ahead.
yeah, these
Wait,
I
we
think
might want to explain what commercials are first.
yeah, really, what a commercial is.
Some
Yeah,
of our audience never even seen a commercial. They're gone
exactly.
nowadays. You don't even watch commercials anymore.
Back on TV, you remember what TV was? Not computers. But Lay's potato chips had a commercial, and they used it for years. So I don't think. But anyway, just go with me on this.
Yeah.
They had commercials where you couldn't eat just one. Couldn't eat just one Lay's potato chip. That's the premise. So what in geocaching can you not just do one of?
Now
You do one, and
or
you're
in
like,
the past?
okay, let's find the next one.
So that changes. Now
It
or in the
does.
past?
Yeah.
Which one are you asking? Like currently or over the years?
I would say currently, if we were to go to some type of geocache, you would be like, what we got? Let's do another one of those. Let's do another one. And like, oh, okay. I mean, is can we do? Is there another one nearby? Can we do another one of this one? I'll give you an example because
Okay.
I'm not. I typically not really a challenge. That's not my area. That's more Jesse yours and challenge talks areas. But here's what I found: if I find a cache that's a challenge, that's a challenge cache, and I find that one, I immediately am searching the map, going, "Oh, do I qualify for anything else in this area? Maybe I can go find that one." And now I'm off the rails. I'm not my list is no longer. I'm not following my list anymore. This happened to me. I was in Denton and I found a challenge. And I was like, "Oh, I qualify for this one. I'm gonna go find it." So I go find it, and I'm like, instead of going to the next cache on my list that I wanted to find, I'm like, "Oh, maybe I qualify for another cache around here," and then I'm off the rails. So what is there something like that that you guys might have?
John, you want it first or you want me to?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. So big shout out to a few folks in the chat room. Bell on the Move got mine, and Lost Ken as well too. Gadgets, new sites. I mean,
Gadgets.
There's just something about gadgets, like something where
Teresa mentioned it too.
Yeah, where it's just not your stock LPC. Somebody who's doing a gadget is
Yep.
putting so much like labor, hard work, like details in the cache. You know it's going to be a quality experience, and you know it's going to be something unique on that front too. So I know, like for me right now, and I could talk more about the rabbit holes I'm going down,
Yeah.
but that's something too that's like not in my area. You know, I don't really have gadgets in my area. So when I'm looking at those other places, if it's for like Geo Woodstock
Mhm.
or other trips, man, I'm looking at those for sure, you know.
So
Here's
yeah,
another one, Jesse, while you're thinking about yours.
yeah.
Lily mentions, if I find a cache by a new to
Oh,
her CO and I like it, I make a
yes,
list of their caches only and I will
absolutely.
binge. We just did that recently with our little Mile caching crew. I was looking in an area for where we were going to find caches, and there is there's a cacher in this area that hides a lot of caches, and so I'm now on his page searching his caches that
Oh
he's
yeah, I've done
hid
that.
Absolutely.
because I want to go after his because they were so good, and it turned out it was really it was great. We
Mhm.
found a bunch of his. So anyway, over to you, Jesse. What are some of yours?
Well, Nicole put a good one. She's learning more about where it goes and have done a few cool ones. She's definitely looking for her next one. So
Nice.
I went through that phase too, where it goes were definitely my thing. I would search those out big time. And gadgets are always cool. You know, when you do a gadget, you're like, why aren't they all like this? You know, like the
Yeah.
quality of it, not necessarily a gadget. Um,
Right.
and I think for me, challenges are the game for me, right? Like I'm always working on a bunch of challenges.
Right.
There's one, and I'm not going to say what it is, no matter how much we ask, but there's one that I just learned about that somebody is currently working on with reviewers to try to get it put together.
Oh,
It will
cool.
be huge. It will be a huge part of my caching going forward. I'm not going
Really?
to say what it is at all because
Right.
I want that guy to be the first able to. I guess I'd say guy, but I want
Wow.
that person to be the first one to get to do it because it's an awesome idea. I'm
Nice.
genuinely shocked that it hasn't already been a challenge all along.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I
Huh.
think it's awesome. I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want to
Mhm.
ruin
Sure.
anybody's thing. I've already started researching it for myself, and
Nice.
it'll be something to work on for years.
Oh,
And
wow.
love it. But challenges to me are part of the game, right? That
Looking
is the
forward to
game
that.
because I'm always
It
working on
is.
separate things, and I
Yeah.
evaluate things a lot of times based on how they fit into whatever challenge I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
But for me, the number one thing that's like the stop dramatic thing is when it brings me to a beautiful location. And
Yeah.
then that can be
That's awesome.
hiking, that can be whatever else. But that's the one where I'm stopped and I'll get distracted from caching to just enjoy where it's brought me. And it doesn't happen all the time, right? You don't get those wow factors all the time, where you're just there and you're like, man, this is awesome. I might have never been to this spot ever if it wasn't for caching. And those
Right.
are the ones that just blow me away. And I'll sit
Oh,
instead of like, and it does charge you up, but I'll like sit and enjoy that area for a while and just be like, this is awesome.
yeah.
I'm not worried about
Yeah.
taking pictures. I'll take a picture or something, but I just want to enjoy it. And I'm like, I wish
Yeah.
every cache would bring me to a location like this. Now that's not realistic, right? And I wouldn't really
Sure.
want that because you could only get like 6 a year or something. But I think that's
Mhm.
the ones where it stops and I'm like, oh my gosh, if they could all be like this, that's all I would do. But those are the
Yeah.
rare things, I guess. But that's what I would
Yeah.
say is if I get that, I'm waiting for that next fix that I get off a location just like that. All the other
No,
ones
that's
are like
cool.
caches in between it.
Yeah. I know that something that um I think is more for me is more dependent upon who I'm with. I don't know if I
Mhm.
would do it by myself, but if I'm with a group, either with y'all or with the Motley Cash and crew, is that if we run into a trail that is, and we sort of planned ahead. I don't know if we planned the Cisco. When we were in Cisco, Texas, I had seen it on the map. That whole letterbox thing we did was
Oh
crazy.
yeah.
Um, but what
Well,
a
see,
what a great time! Our
that's
little
the thing though. Like you consider that binging.
yeah.
That wouldn't be even considered a binge for me. We have
Okay.
different styles of caching, right? I
Yeah.
was like, cool. That's higher than average. but it's not the highest I've done in that little section of time before, right? Like it
Oh, I
was
know.
different styles of geocaching, right? You don't typically go out and do huge power trails.
No.
To get that fix once a year, me and Barry go out and we
Yeah.
do a week where we cram in thousands of caches
Yeah.
or, 50 counties, or whatever we do, some
Yeah.
extreme version of what we're
Crazy.
doing every year. And
Crazy
that gets
amount.
the extreme out for me because most
No,
of the year I'm not a numbers guy at all. That 1 week we usually do a numbers,
Yeah.
so that balances that part. But I think it kind of, because geocaching is so diverse,
Yeah.
it helps where you get to plug in all those different things. Because I'm not a numbers guy throughout the year, and I wouldn't want to play the game that way. I'm not against numbers at all by any means. People love it. That's your game. There's more than one person with over 200,000 finds. That's awesome for them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my kind of game, but like 1 week a year, I love to go and just slam numbers like that. And then move on, right? Like we wouldn't want to cache like that every day.
No.
Right.
It was like 150 or something like that. Letterboxes, like boom,
yeah,
right in a row,
which was insane.
That's a different style of caching, right? That was something totally different.
Yeah, but when I was thinking about the whole Lay's potato chip thing, it's like I didn't want that to end, and we kind of basically went and did all of them. So it was
ended because it was over.
Yeah, because we were done, or we ran out
no way
of
you would have
time.
left at like 100 with 50 left over.
Yeah, no. It was, but for me, it was the binging part of that was the fact that we had a group and we were having so much fun. So to me, the binging was the caches weren't that great. Sorry,
They're not. It was a power trail. Yeah,
power trail.
But you're saying the experience, though, right? With others,
yes,
that was fun.
There was cars that were starting to come with us, and we were sort of get a little caravan going, and I was driving, and I'd pull up, and everybody would mostly Charles and Jesse would jump out of the car, leap out of the car, race to the cache. The rest of us are trying to get there as fast as we can. They'd find it, we'd all sign it, and we would move on. We'd back in the car, on to the next one. And now every now and then they would race over to it and they couldn't find it, but or they would be a little bit of more effort to do, but it was just
sometimes we found 3 at one location, but that's
we did. We found
How many of those did you add, Jesse?
Do what?
Did you add 2 of those or
no, we didn't have to.
No,
there'd be like multiple throwdowns at one location. It was pretty funny.
You could take a picture and line up some of the throwdowns. That's how bad it was.
And the same frame of reference. That was great.
That's for another show.
Fun. That was fun though. But yeah,
it was.
But again, that's kind of a binging thing, but it's not a everyday.
Yeah.
Some people it is, right? But for me, it's not. But yeah.
No, that's something that I wouldn't necessarily, like I said, I wouldn't go for that by myself, or that's just not my style. But
yeah, I don't think it'd be fun for me to do that by myself.
Now, what are y'all's thoughts on if you're somewhere, Jesse, in I think it was New Jersey, I think you were at, and
I think I know where this one's going.
There's an endless stream of Adventure Labs, more than the eye can see. There's Adventure Labs as far as the eye can see. Are you going to binge those?
Yes. Are you not? Who would not? Who's going to pass those up? We'll have them on the show. If you would pass up free caches from sitting around, we're going to bring you on the show and point at you and laugh at you. Because that is silly.
Man.
How would you pass? I mean, I will. These guys might be nice.
I would not laugh. I would not laugh.
I would. 100% laugh.
You're not gonna,
that's like people like, I don't find
LBCs.
Great. That's great for you. Here's the reason why I love this. And I may step on somebody's toes with this, but guess what? Don't care.
Don't care.
I think everybody should play the game how they want. We all agree on that. I think we all agree on that.
Absolutely.
However, I think the second part of that is if somebody else wants to play the game a certain way, shut your mouth about it. Just enjoy the way you play. Let them play. If you're comparing yourself to somebody else like in a negative way, you're missing the whole point of geocaching. This is a fun game that we do not win money on. You can win a trophy, like Mocha.
You
But you
can.
cannot win money, right? Like I haven't seen very many places where you're winning money on this. This is a fun thing that you should be enjoying. Do whatever you want to do. If you want to go and do the ET Power Trail and get 4,000 caches in 4 days, go do it. If somebody else wants to do it and you think it's stupid, shut your mouth. Let them have their fun and do it. If you want to get, I think we got 250 or I don't even know what we got. Something insane in a parking lot. Here's why I love that even more, though. There's so many people out there, people that are positive about it. Awesome, right?
Yes.
I know the top cachers, number cachers in the world. I've gone caching with both of them, both of the two top guys.
Yep.
I've met all three of the top, the super duper top guys. I've gone caching at least once or twice with the two of the top three, right?
Yep.
They're doing their thing. They love it, you know. Yep. There's people out there that whine and moan about lab caches aren't real caches, and you know we joke about it. They're like they're ruining the numbers. They're not ruining your numbers, buddy. You know what I mean? Like your numbers are your numbers. They're ruining their own numbers. If you think they're ruining something, that'll ruin their numbers. If you don't like it, don't do it. Yeah. And if you derive your self-worth from beating somebody else in this game, you may want to step back and remember why you're doing geocaching.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's for your own fun. If it's you and your buddy and you want to compete against each other, set whatever rules you want. Yeah. Yep. Brad did 160 lab stops Saturday. Awesome. That's great. If you enjoyed it, that's awesome, right? If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Like it was funny. Like now I know about them, but we didn't know about those huge, whatever, I don't even know what you call them. Power stops. There's not a power trail really, right? But
Judy says she did
about those
475 stages.
I love it. If you don't like them, don't do it.
They'll finish.
And I got to ask you, Jesse, did you go there just for it, or was it like you were there?
No, so we found it by accident, right? So we're scouting because we had our targets, and it was all old caches for the thing, and then counties, right? We just destroyed like a tornado. We went counties in the Northeast, and it was awesome. We closed out, I think, 3 states in that little less than a week. But we were going for all the old caches. Like we met up and did that. So we're going, and this is prior to us hearing about like them doing these things, the big groupings. Geo arts, is that what they? It wasn't even really geo art. It was just
Adventure Lab art, kind of.
Adventure Lab art, but it wasn't really art. It was just a grouping of it, right? But and I was pulling up. It was a rest stop, so we were going to sleep at the rest stop. We were using that app at the time. It was like, here's a place we can sleep. Here's a place we can sleep. This rest stop. So I actually pulled up the rest stop on that app, but I can't remember the name of it right now.
RV parking.
It was a highly rated rest stop, and I was like, why is it a rest stop highly rated? It was very nice, by the way. But we're like, let's go here. So let's see what caches are nearby. Can we make it there tonight? And I pulled it up, and it like timed out. It was like, how it starts on the thing. It just started. It's like it said maximum number of state, caching, maximum number of states reached. I was like, I don't know that this is right.
Like you could feel your phone heating up from the increased processing power,
things, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So we found out by accident. Now, once we knew about it, we're like, oh, boom, we're going down there for that. I got to see this. We got to do this. And I think we were on the show, and Barry was over there doing ding, ding, ding. Like getting caches.
We did.
I thought that was hilarious. Nuts. Right now, I wouldn't want all of caching to be like that. If that was all it was, it'd be boring, right? But it's a funny addition to the game. Is it binging? I don't know if it's, maybe, I don't know. You're doing a bunch, but you're not going out of your way to do it. I mean, maybe you are, but you're not doing that all the time, but you're getting a ton of them at one time. Now, it took a while to sit there and just go through all those questions, right? So I can see the binging aspect of that, but I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. There was one here in Florida, not as extensive as that one. And we, on a day road trip, we swung by over there and did it. It was in a rest stop, just like that. Welcome to Florida thing.
Yeah.
And it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. Yep. Did I have to? No, but I'm not a numbers guy where numbers really bother me. I tried to get, once I got past 10,000, after that, it doesn't really matter to me. We don't do that. So I don't care. I can get 1 today or 20 tomorrow. It doesn't matter to me. I just like to I like to have the fun of it. So
Mhm.
yeah, maybe that's binging, but I don't say that hurts anything.
It's more like situational binging. So it's almost like if the three of us just walking down the street in Memphis or something, and all of a sudden we're like, oh look, there's an all you can eat, I don't know, oyster bar. I'm not an oyster fan, but you get the idea. Like, oh
Mhm.
wow, you walk in, you're like, oh wow, there's an all you can eat. Let's down some oysters. So it's a very situational.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily look for it, like you said. Now sometimes there's the planning, like you said, that we all do. We're like, oh, we're going to this place. We're going to
Yeah.
plan ahead and we're going to go to this because I want to do there's a power trail here and we're going to
Mhm.
plan to do the power trail. That's kind of different, I
Yeah.
think.
That's planned binging. I think that's geocaching.
Yeah.
Well, like this one, Joe mentions. I am well familiar. I'm very familiar with this one. It's on my radar. I'm going to go do this because it's on the border between Texas and Arkansas, then Texarkana, or near Texarkana. So definitely going to go do this rest stop with the 200 Adventure Labs. So I'm looking forward to that. So
So
sometime.
would you say that you're a binge geocacher? Either one of you? Would you classify yourself as that? Since we know we
No.
binge other things.
I would
And if
say
Gary, if you're not, how are you not? Right? Like, how do you make it where you don't binge like
Yeah.
that?
For me, I think that there isn't really anything. The ones that I've mentioned was, and again, it's rare. But for example, if I get sort of caught up in an area and I qualify for a challenge, and I'm like, okay, now I want to do more. So
Mhm.
now I'm really seeking them out. But as far as like planning, I don't really necessarily. I don't think I ever plan anything, and there's not really a cache type that I would say that I want to binge. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I like
Mhm.
doing all the
I get
different
that.
ones. I don't look at an area and
You're
necessarily
balanced with
go,
it,
I
kind of.
want to do all those.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
John, what
for
about
me
you?
it's like situational. So, because I was thinking about this and I was kind of thinking, is it freestyle binging? Like maybe you were at that rest stop, freestyle, you found it. It's just like, well, this is cool. You kind of get into it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or kind of plan binging. And for me, I mean, I've been on times where you're on a trail, you're out hiking, there's a cache like every zero point 0.1 miles. I mean, you're finding it. It's cool. You're out
Mhm.
there. I mean, that's fun. You kind of get into the zone and that's what you do.
Yeah.
For me, for like a planned like kind of one, I was trying to think like, going after some Jasper months. I mean, I guess I would consider that binging for me
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
because, when I was doing that, I'm still doing it, but I'm still waiting for the weather to get a little bit better up here in the beautiful Northeast.
Yeah.
Um, I'm doing a lot of traveling for that one. I'm covering quite a bit of distance onto that one. It's kind of like a race. I'm trying to maximize where I can go, what caches I can get in there, and it's just I'm being selective. But on that one, I would consider that binging for me because I'm not usually a numbers guy,
Yeah.
you know. So for me, like if it's binging, it would probably be numbers. Like if it was equivalent of pizza, and you guys got to bear with me on this one, it wouldn't be
Oh
one
no.
piece of pizza. It would probably be 4 pieces or more would probably be my binging. So it would be about those numbers for sure would be the binge factor. Um, but for me too, I think, and I don't know about you guys, it's like binging for me now, because let's face it, you live somewhere for a while, you kind of cash out your area.
Mhm.
Sure.
Maybe you save some for different days on that one, but it's just like you got to travel. And I
Yeah.
think, part of for me that alert, like when you're traveling to some place where there's a fresh game board and
Right.
all those caches out there, sometimes it's kind of like your eyes open up and you're like, oh my God, this is cool. I don't have this
Mhm.
experience every day. So why not take advantage of it?
Yeah. I'm
It helps when you move across the country.
Oh,
Start over again.
like,
twice?
Yeah, twice so
Yeah.
far. Yeah.
Were your movings binge oriented, Jesse?
I mean, everything's binge oriented for me. Come on now.
Okay, fair enough.
For me, I kind of find a way. So I'm a binge casher, just like I'm a binge everything, right? But I
Yeah.
find ways to make it work. So like the one time a year, we try to do it every single year, and I hope I continue to do it because Barry's a good buddy of mine, and I hope we
Yeah.
continue to do it forever, right? And there's other people that have come along too, but I mean, mainly it's him and I, and then some other people as well, some other good friends as well. But so that gets out that numbers, right? So I don't have to work all year long. I'm not a numbers guy because I've already got that out. That's done.
Yeah.
I don't care as much about that after that. Now it's fun to challenge myself that week, but one strategy I do so I don't wear my family out with geocaching because I don't want them to not like it. Right, all my family geocaches in moderation. So I kind of developed a strategy where I will binge geocaching, but I do it by spreading them across everything in geocaching. Right, so finds and hides both. Like my hides, instead of like hiding 100 where I goes this year. I'll if I'm hiding to where I go, then I need to work on another cache type. And that really slows you down because it's different, right? So like I try to spread it out across all. So it's kind of a, spread out. So it doesn't seem like a binge because you're working on different things all the time. With the finds, I find out what Christy wants to go for. So like right now we've been going for events, adventure labs, and virtuals. She won't really swing on the Earth cache too much, but it's kind of virtual type caching right now. And that's what she likes. So that's what we go and do. So I get my binge part of it out, but to her, it's not often because we're not doing it all the time. So I think there's a way to balance that, right? Like I get into what I have to be careful with is like publishing caches. Yeah. Once you've been around the game for a while, you can publish all the cache types, right? You can do them. So I'm going to do one of these. Then before I do another one, I'm going to go kind of through the whole circle, cycle all around and come back and, spreading it out. So it's a diluted binge, I guess.
Are either of you guys getting like a feeling now where it's like we're in like a addicted geocachers group and we're trying to justify our binging?
Well, this is the year for it, right? I mean, it's 2025. There's so much, I don't know how you kicked off this year, but it's not good for keeping my binging under control. I've been to like multiple events, including CEDOs, block parties.
You have.
Community celebration events. I found over 300 caches in January, which I normally never do.
Right.
Bunch of adventure labs. I've no big sections of them, but other than that, it was the other one. At the block party. I've already published one event, an Earth cache and a multi. I've got another Earth cache and an event submitted, and I'm going to start. Here's my binging part.
You're about to binge events.
I'm going to binge events because I'm going to do one. I'm starting my weekly events up again. So Monday morning coffee events that I had for years, I'm going to start those up again. So I kind of get the binging still out of the way, but under control, maybe, I guess. Is that? Yeah. So it's an addiction.
That's a serious.
Let's be honest. It's an addiction. Geocache is an addiction.
Yeah.
That's a serious binge. How many years did you have that coffee event in Colorado?
I don't know, years. And it all started just because I was doing a streak. And I was like, oh gosh, it's Colorado. It's November or October. It's cold. I need to cut out one day a week of caching. So I'm going to do an event.
Yes.
And then it's still going. I moved away years later.
And they're still doing it.
Going up there. I'm going to start it down here. So it's been going for years now. It was way pre-COVID. Awesome. So that tells you how long it's been going. Hundreds of events have happened. So hundreds of weeks.
Nice.
All right. Well, we're getting toward the end here tonight. So I guess let's go around and have one last thing. I know, John, you got something. You got a serious one. You want to start with the serious one you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think one thing for people with geocaching binges, because I know it's funny when don't ask me why. I think it's like trail safety. Even when I saw like Jesse and Barry when we met up in June.
Yes.
Like one of those things, like kind of trail safety kicked in my mind. And I'm like, Jesse, how are you guys doing hydrating wise? Are you guys staying hydrated? Because
they're not staying clean. They were just living out of the car
but were they staying hydrated?
They're homeless.
Because it's always funny, like one of those things, like for me, when I used to like pound out miles on the trails, I would encounter people and I try to like kind of like see how they were doing.
Right.
Like, are they hydrated good? Do they know where they're going? Are they in a good set?
Oh, man.
But I think for people, and I've done this too, like hiking wise, where I haven't been like hydrated, but even like driving around doing mad caching, where it's just
Yep.
kind of, I'm like, man, I should have drank a lot more liquids today. I should have taken care of myself a little bit better today. So I think safety for others is if you are doing like a binge type experience on that one,
That's smart.
making sure you're
Yeah.
hydrated, making sure you're taking care of yourself, communicating with others where you're going, what you're doing, or
Smart.
what that check-in is as well on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Because for sometimes as us as cashers, like we can just get caught up in something. And, if people are looking like how many hundreds of miles you covered in a day,
Oh, gosh.
all
Yeah.
the different places you went to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think just for everybody, I mean, just, I wanted to mention just, we got to think about safety on that one, still.
Yeah. And it's, not to, we joke a little bit about it being an addiction, right? But what else have you done 10,000 plus times in the last
Right.
decade, whatever? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of ridiculous. It is. And you can get caught up. And I've told many of the stories on here too, right? I will say that I do. If it's a serious, what I consider a serious hike,
Yes.
I bring water, I bring everything else, GPS spot, everything else.
Yes.
But it's those little ones that you can overlook and not,
Yes.
like that half a water bottle you have left shoved in your cargo pocket is probably not proper equipment, right? You know what I mean? Like that's not going to cut it. But it's those like under a mile hikes where you can still get in trouble, and or like when we do our thing, once a year, we try to. We're not. No, we're not. We're not good about it. But driving when you're tired, that's not a good plan. There's a lot of those things out there that are just, and safety wise too. You can get focused on stuff, and you're not going to be lost because literally it's a geolocation game, right? But you're not going to be lost, but you can also be oblivious to surroundings, and safety still has to take. Safety is important too.
No, that's probably a really good one to end on. One of the things that, sadly, the gentleman that died in Louisiana when we were he didn't make it to Cache Fest that year in Memphis, and we were like, "What happened? Where is he?" And we, the geocachers jumped in because there was not really a lot of checking on this poor guy, and he ended up dying on the trail. I guess the last thing they thought was it was basically like that. It was he got out, he was going after the oldest in Louisiana, got out on the trail, and just like John said, it was not, it didn't have the right trail, safety protocol. I mean, he probably didn't have, it was dehydrated, probably didn't have anything with him.
And it can happen to us anytime. Yeah.
He got hot, got confused, got the whole thing sort of collapsed, the whole situation kind of spiraled out of control for him. So, and again, he was in a sense kind of binging. He was going from, he was trying to get a bunch of caches, as in a sense as fast as he can before
like a lot of us do, right? Going to Omega, you plan all these big trips. Yeah.
So be careful, so that's our last word tonight is if you're going to binge, stick to your plan, make sure you're safe, make sure you let people know where you're at. Don't get caught up in bad situations, because we all have, you can get in those situations quick, especially if you're like, let's just do one more. Oh, here's a puzzle. And you're like, oh, it's not far. It's only like that on a map. Well, yeah, it could be quite a ways. I mean, how far is that hike? Oh, it's only like this on the map.
Yeah, easy.
I'm holding up fingers that are very small apart. It's like, that could be 6 miles. I mean, are you ready for a 6-mile hike? That, are you in shape for a 6-mile hike? Well, I got to get that last, it's one more. I need to get that one for this, that, or the other.
Yeah. And the bottom line is, if something's not safe, as much as we want numbers, as much as we want that cash, you got to be self-aware, and you got to play it safe just in case. I mean, like when I saw Jesse and Barry, and I probably came off as like a mom or a dad. I'm like, Jesse, are you sure you're hydrated? Are you guys sure you're hydrating? And he's like, yeah, we're doing good, man. We're doing good.
We're doing good, Ron. We're moving on.
That was the right response, right? You're supposed to be doing that. I mean, we've been sleeping in a car for days. So
yes,
the assumption is that we're not hydrated, right? So
definitely not clean. All right, which is fine. Hey,
once a year I can be nasty for a week. It's okay.
Everybody should have a berry. Everybody should have a berry.
That's right.
All right. Well, good show, guys. No show next Sunday, but we'll be back on regular schedule the week after, and we'll go from there. So, thank you guys. It was a good show. Oh, you want to mention about some upcoming shows too?
Yeah, some upcoming shows if you don't mind on this one. So we got Puzzle Talk coming up this week, Tuesday on February 4th on this one.
Oh yeah.
Charles and Tom at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. They're going to talk about some cool viewer-created puzzles out there.
Oh, sweet!
I know they were telling us about them, and I think people are really going to think they're pretty cool.
Cool.
And then a couple of other ones coming up too to mark people's calendars on here. Challenge Talk on February 11th. I think everybody's heard about the Jasmer Challenge, right? Now, how cool would it be to talk with the person who actually originated the challenge, Jasmer B? That's what Emily and Tim are going to do on February 11th on that one.
Awesome. I love it.
So that's going to be pretty cool. And we got Gadget Talk.
Mentioned there's something big going to happen that night. Is that, can I
that's theirs to mention.
Yeah. Let's not spill the beans, Gary.
Oh, no. Gary just spilled the beans.
Okay. So we will give the bean forecast on February 11th is something big may drop.
Yeah, something big. I'm not going to say what it is.
I'm going to have to be in that chat room that night because I got to let old Jasmer B know he's cost me a lot of money over the years. A lot of trips, a lot of money.
That's pretty good.
It's all his fault.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Some good shows coming up.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. No, they're all good. There's something big. Not only just having Jasmer B on, but that's
big in itself.
That's big enough. Yeah, that's big enough.
That's big on the show, and there's something big during that show.
Yeah.
Can I talk about 2026? Can I mention 2026 real quick?
No.
Oh, hey Jesse, how are you doing on that one?
All right, I'm doing great. I think we should close it with don't just talk about geocaching, binge geocaching.
Yes. Binge geocaching.
May your finds be many and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.